You can see us. This one? Okay.
Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunatu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram.
Hari Om Swamiji, Hari Om everyone. So I'm very glad to have different groups here today. Few minutes we'll spend on the introduction right now. We could probably go around quickly introducing who all are there, which group, which university you are from, and be very brief in that, just your name and your university. So I can start. I am Anup. I'm from Colorado. Most of you here, I know you, and probably most of you know me. So why don't we start with UC Irvine? I need to unmute you.
Good.
Yeah, good. Go ahead.
So hi, my name is Aditya, and I'm a second year student here at UCI, studying biological sciences.
Hi, I'm Suryanshi. I am a second year student at UC Irvine, and I'm studying education sciences.
Hi, I'm Hasmitha. I'm a third year at Irvine Valley College, and I'm studying biochemistry/bioengineering.
Great. UC Riverside.
Can you hear us? Yeah, okay. Hi, I'm Rohani. I'm a second year chemical engineering major.
Hi, I'm Madhumita. I'm a first year bio major.
I'm Kunj. I'm a first year bio major too.
Great. And other remoter like me, Mihir.
I'm Mihir. Hari Om.
Good. So we also have Cal State Fullerton, which is Nikhil, Pranavi, Diva, and hopefully Shweshta. So, and we are hoping that few others would join individually, but we can get started. So, first of all, why did we think of this project as such? And I'm very grateful to Swamiji for guiding us on this one. We all know that we are already very busy right now. Why spend 1 more hour every week coming to a study group? So that might be some of you might be having that question. So we undertook this project under Swamiji's guidance for 3 reasons. So the first one was to give a platform to those who want to grow and grow from within. So that was our first motivation behind taking up this project of study groups. The second was, university and school life can be quite stressful at times, and it's important not to find temporary solutions. So how to handle these situations with a deeper understanding. So that was our second goal of why we undertook this project. And third one, of course, was to keep satsang going, which after Bhavihar, I think it's important that we continue this satsanga when we go to universities and at work. And as Swamiji mentioned in the Bhagavad-Gita class last year, satsanga is just good company of good thoughts and good people. So we will meet every Wednesday, and Swamiji will brief you about the format a little later. But please do take notes, so that way when we meet next time and when we have discussions, we can refer back to it and always have a good discussion based on that. So I know all of you know here Swami Ishwaranandji, but I still think there are a few things that I should introduce. So Swamiji, as you all know, is a resident Acharya of Chinmaya Mission in Los Angeles, leading over 500 families and seekers in Southern California. Swamiji was formerly a software professional, and he's also an artist par excellence. So if you haven't had a chance to look at it, I'm sure you'll get more chances soon. And Swamiji studied in Sandipani from 1991, and he also taught the course there from 2002 to 2004. Swamiji's clarity, depth, and humor makes him a unique teacher. And Swami has also authored many books, the latest one being Life of I. If you haven't read that book, you should definitely get that. And we can have some workshops eventually on that book, and we'll discuss more as we go forward with this study group. Swamiji, we are very grateful and blessed to have you and also lead us on these study groups. With that, I hand it over back to you. Please unmute your mic. Yeah, now it is unmuted.
Right. I need to claim my position back.
Sorry, Swamiji.
I need to. You have to give me back my.
Okay. I do that by. May cost.
Yes.
Is it good?
Okay. Yeah. Right. Right. We begin just introductory session today. As Anupa had mentioned clearly, the purpose of this meeting or this satsang is to continue what we left behind or what you all left behind when you were 12th grader. Most of you have completed your Balvihar in our Chinmaya Mission. I'm very proud of that because that has given you enough ground, enough foundation of spirituality. So I don't need to introduce you to the basics. But having said this, I have to also definitely mention that what we study in Balvihar or in Yuva Kendra is at one level is useful to you. But when you come to university, you are standing on your own understanding. Gurudev used to say, it is one thing to understand, it is at another to stand under that. So you have to take your own decisions. You have to make your own some of them are still okay. No, it's okay. You have to make your own decisions about your future, everything else. So we have termed this whole session as Yuva Gita. You might have seen the emblem that I created some time back, just a few days back actually. It's Yuva Gita because Gita is for the youth, and it is, as we have mentioned in the flyer itself, Gita is not for the dying and the dead. It is for the living and those who want to live. It's very strange that in India, there is a tradition. When a person is about to die, they will start chanting Gita. And Gurudev used to say, it is not for the people who are dying. This is about how to live. So it is interesting that people have that tradition. A person who is dead, in front of him they chant, or a person who is dying, they chant in front of him or her. So here we need to recognize that this is not meant for dying people. Now let us start with the PowerPoint program here. I will start with that, and then you will understand what I'm talking about. You are able to see the. I'm sure you're not. Okay, you're able to see. Why, what, and how. This is going to be the focus of our discussion. Because anything that anybody says to you to do or not to do, I'm sure when your parents have asked you to do something, your first question you ask, why should I do it? Or when somebody asks you not to do it, why should I not do it? So the question that you always ask is, why do I do it? What is the need? The next question would be, if you know why you are doing, what should I do? Next question is, what should I do? The third question is, if I know why I'm doing, I know what I'm supposed to do. The next question is, how do I do it? It is something like a marketing, Let us say that iPad, we all are familiar with that. iPad was not even thought of by anybody beforehand. So when it came to market, iPad, everybody asked, what is the need for it? Because we have a PC, we have a cell phone, and cell phone serves the purpose of calling people and other things. And even I can browse, I can see the websites, etc. And we have PC for seriously doing any kind of a presentation or keeping the information what I need. Why do I need an iPad? So imagine the guys in the Apple, they thought about a product which was not there before at all. It's a combination of a cell phone and a PC or a laptop. Now, when it came, I remember many people said, oh, it's nothing but a bigger version of a cell phone. Now you see, it has captured how much of a market. Can you imagine? Millions of people are using it. How many apps have come for that product? How many people are using? How many versions have come? How many people have used it in presentations, in taking pictures and making movies? The endless varieties of endless usage. People have found it. After it came for what, 10 years back or even less than 5-6 years back, it has captured such a market. So now imagine, the question is, first to start with, why do I need it? Marketing is a means or a system, to be precise, to create a need. Why I'm saying this is, when Gurudev was studying under Tapovanam, Swami Tapovanam, long time back, Swami Tapovanam did not teach him Bhagavad-Gita. He taught him only Upanishads. And then when Gurudev came on a tour he just started to observe for a few months. He traveled from north to south, whole of India. He observed what is that people need. Why do they need spirituality? And when he started observing the kind of people, even educated people, university educated people, how do they live their life? How they are struggling to meet two ends? How they are so caught up in their professional world. I'm talking about 50s, almost 66 years back. He observed all of them as an investigative journalist he was, came back, Swami Tapovanam, and he said to his master, said, sir, I have completed my studies under your tutelage. Now I have to go back to the world and serve them. First thing Swami Tapovanam said, you are making a mistake. He said, why, sir? He said, people don't need. People in the world don't need spirituality. We in the Himalayas, sitting in isolation, in meditation, in solitude, we know the worth of it. The people in the world do not know the worth of it. It is a waste of time. You will be caught in the Maya of the world. You don't need to go back. Stay in the solitude, meditate, enjoy your inner peace. That's all you need to do. That's all I do. That's all everybody does here. Gurudev smiled and said, just the very fact that you think that they don't need it, I think they need it. Not, sir, disobeying you, but I have observed that it is all the more the people who are living in the world need this knowledge than the people who are already attained and a certain amount of peace in this solitude. He created a market. It is the favorite story that is said is that one shoe manufacturer, he sent a sales guy to Africa to find how they can sell shoes there in Africa. So this guy goes there and stays there for a few weeks to observe where and all he can open up a sales unit. And he found what he observed, and he came back and said to his boss, I think we will be wasting our time going and selling in Africa. He said, why? The boss asked, why do you think so? The guy said, because nobody wears shoes there. So how are we going to sell a shoe there? Because nobody wears even a slipper they don't wear. The boss smiled and said, all the more we need to go there. That is where the market is. Where they don't have, we need to introduce why they need to have. Now, why I'm saying this is, as a student, you may think that you don't need it. When somebody talks to you about, have you read the Upanishad? Have you gone to the temple? Are you doing your prayer? You say, that is for the retired people who have nothing else to do. This is what Gurudev was told by many people. He said, no, all the more that this knowledge is needed for those who are living and those who want to live. So therefore here, first question you ask is, now let me ask this question. Are you a student? Yes. Why are you a student? Why are you a student? Answer what some of them will give. I want to study. I want to study whatever be the subject, and that's why I'm a student. One who studies is a student. Some will say, interestingly, I'm asked to study, therefore. Actually, I want to work, I want to enjoy. After my 12th grade, I just want to be a free bird. I can go and work, maybe in a McDonald's or some other place. I can go and earn money. All that I needed is a 1 square meal and maybe some pocket money, and then that's it. So such a person who has this kind of a vision of life, I am asked to study and therefore I'm studying. I don't have any intention to study. That's another category. Another person would say, I don't know what else to do. At this stage of my life, I don't think I will get a job and I don't know what else to do. So, okay, let us spend some time in the university, enjoy the days there, hang out and do a free bird, be a free bird, and spend some 3-4 years and then get out of it. Minimum work, maximum I should get out of it. Another setup, I'm supposed to be studying. It's like a norm, when you finish the school, you are supposed to study in the university. Okay, that's what I'm supposed to do. I will do it. So another person would say, I will say, well, I'll get a degree, a job. His vision is a little better, but his vision is short. What? I should get a degree so that I'll get a job. And then when I get a job, I think I'm done with my life. Now, somebody would say, I like a particular field and I like to know more about that. Whether it is medicine or law or software or engineering or biochemistry, and so many other different fields are there. Somebody would say, no, I'm an explorer. I'm curious. I'm curious to know what it is. And I want to learn more and more and more about it because my intellectual appetite is so much. And I would try to find the end of a subject matter, end of a particular field. I just want to go and explore and then become an expert in that. So there are varieties of answers for one question, right? Now, if you really look at it, this is exactly what is considered as a management jargon. Why? I read in one particular magazine that this question of why is very important for any manufacturing or anybody who's doing a business. Why am I doing this? Why am I manufacturing this product, or why am I marketing this product, or why am I selling this product, why am I doing service to this? Knowing why provides clarity in what you do and how you do it. That's where you find the purpose, the context, and the emotion that motivates you to do what matters and make a difference. And you to do what matters, and that makes a difference. That questioning why. Think about it. Why are you studying? Whatever you're studying. Why? If you do not ask that question, you may mechanically do that, and suddenly you find you have wasted 4 years. So better to ask that question in the beginning itself. Why am I doing this particular study? I mean, I'm not talking about Bhagavad-Gita, this class. I mean, in your own professional world also. Whatever you're doing, why am I doing this? So keep that in mind very carefully and analyze. Now, in this particular context, it is important because Krishna was asked the same question by Arjuna. Question raised by Arjuna, the student of Krishna, was, why should I fight the Mahabharata war? You give me one reason. Give me one reason why I should fight with my own people. Give me one reason why I should kill all of them. Give me a reason why I should win this war and get back my country. Why? Why should I fight with my own teacher? Why should I fight with my own cousins? Why should I fight with my own grandfather? Why should I, in the process, destroy half of the my population, people who are supporting me, and people who are supporting the Kauravas? Why? Why should I bring blood in this place? So, that was the question raised by Arjuna to Krishna in the beginning of the battlefield. So, it is necessary that Krishna had to answer this. So, he says very clearly, knowing what is right to do and doing it right. Krishna makes this point very clear. Knowing what is right to do and doing it right. I'm making this point clear to you because these two are two different things. Knowing what is right to do is dharma. Doing it right is yoga. Because in any situation, you can respond to a situation per what you wish to do, what you would like to do, what you think right to do, but that's not necessarily the right thing to do. Is it not true? Now, how many of us know what is the right thing to eat? We don't know. Because our body is young, probably most of you are young, so whatever you eat is digested and you are okay. But as you cross 40, 50, 45, 50, then you realize, hey, this doesn't work for me. I have been eating all right, but that is not the right thing to do. I take ice cream, I take cookies, and then I take sweets, and I say, no, when I am young, I am capable of digesting all those things, all right. But when it comes to a time when your digestion slows down, when you are not able to, digest whatever you eat, then you have to choose what you are eating. And you realize that you have been eating wrong. So it is necessary that we must have the correct information or input about what is the right thing to do at any given point of time. Now, while I'll say that, it is not possible for someone to tell you every time, oh, this is right and this is not right. This is right and this is not right. It's not a chart which you keep it in front of you and say, if somebody shouts at me, I look at the chart, what should I do now? Okay, this is how I respond. And then if somebody is smiling, what should I do now? And this is what I should do. And if somebody is angry, what should I do now? It's not like that. Therefore, you must grow in the awareness of what is the right thing to do. This awareness of what is the right thing to do must come out of an understanding. It is not somebody's instruction. This is the difference between, please note, religion and spirituality. Religion gives you a set of instructions, do's and don'ts. Whereas spirituality makes you mature enough to understand yourself. That requires education. not instruction. Education creates awareness of what is the right thing. Whereas instruction is only a set of rules you follow. When you are young, when you are 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, your parents gave you instructions. But when you are 20, you don't expect them to give you instructions. You don't even follow that anyway, even if you do, they do say that. Oh, why are you not listening to me? Because you'll say, I know it. I know what's the right thing to do. So the maturity is what you becoming aware of yourself, what's the right thing to do. So Krishna here is not giving instructions. Krishna is making Arjuna realize that this is how you should think, making him becoming mature enough to understand and have that consciousness, have that awareness. And so therefore yoga karmasu kaushalam. Next one is having recognized what is the right thing to do, doing it at the right way. So for example, somebody had done wrong to you, right? You taking the gun and shooting is making it right. You may think so, but you have no authority to do that. You cannot take the life out of someone. As Gandhiji had put it, you have not created life, you have no right to take away life. That is his non-violence principle. You are not created life, and how do you take away somebody's life? What right you have got? You don't have even right to take your own life, much less you have the right to take anybody else's life. So it is right that a person is doing wrong, and he should be eliminated or he should be punished. But you are not supposed to do it. There are some people who are given the authority to do it: the police, the law, the justice system. So doing it right, what it means, you must qualify to do that. You must have the right deservedness to take care of that particular, or qualification to take care of that situation. Now, therefore, this yoga is living up to the Dharma and making it an action. This is where Krishna had to give Arjuna the proper information and inspiration, and every chapter is a yoga. Every chapter talks about a particular dharma, and every chapter ends in instructing, or not instructing, giving him guidelines to do. This is what you should do. If you have understood right, this is what you should do. That's why every chapter is a yoga. So now coming to point, yes, I have to do the right thing, and I have to do the things right. For what purpose? One, your personal growth. Second, initiate positive change around you. Loga kalyanartam atmana hitartam cha. Atmana hitartam for personal growth, loga kalyanartam for the sake of bringing about positive change around you. Now, let us look at the triangle of why, what, and how. In this particular context, when we are studying Gita, first thing is, why spirituality for you, for as a student? Why Bhagavad-Gita? And why now? Why now? Why, when I am young, I don't need to worry about old age, death, poverty, and which may probably, and sickness. Probably it will happen. This is how Lord Buddha also thought. When he was growing young, growing in his own palace, which is very protected, and he was given all the facilities, all things that he wanted in life was given to him. He was a royal prince, and he lived a very sophisticated life, very comfortable, all provided. But he happened to notice people when he happened to come out from the palace. When he started observing people around him, he recognized a few things. People get old. Any person will get old. Any person may fall sick. Any person may become poor. Any person and every person would die. Jara, Vyadi, Daridra, and Marana. These four are unavoidable. You cannot avoid it at all. You cannot escape from this. So, anyway, it's going to happen. Yes, definitely. Every one of us will get old. Every one of us, if we don't die early, we will die old. Everybody. So, it is going to happen. But how ready you are to face inevitable things in your life? I'm not just talking about old age, death, and disease and sickness or what. What about sorrow? What about the ego that you will meet in your workplace? What about the people who don't like you when you meet with them? What about the uncertainties of life, including your own physical health, including emotional disturbances, including, people whom you love disappearing from your life? How do you meet, and including your own failures in your professional life, including you are being rejected for a promotion in your workplace, including your project that you have taken as a student is not approved by your teacher, whatever it be? How are you going to face things that are not under your control? Should you call it quit and then run away? Or sit in one corner and cry about it? So it is necessary for anyone to understand this beautiful knowledge and live for it as early as possible. Learn it as early as possible and live it as assiduously, as perfectly, as practically as possible. Now, next one is, what do I need to do? What do I need to do if after having understood what I need to, what is for spirituality, what should be my daily routine about it? What changes should I expect when I'm practicing it? And what is the outcome? And what benefit I get as a student? Because we never do anything without looking at the immediate utility of it. So what I need to do, what changes I should expect within myself, and what is the outcome, and what benefit as I get as a student. Then the next question is, how should I study? How long? How do I evaluate my growth? So I will be sending you this. I will be those who are. I will send out a small Google community thing, and then I will upload this PowerPoint. So you may probably need not to write it down as of now. But if you would like to put your own notes, that's fine. So why spirituality? What I should do, and how I should practice it. Now, Gurudev, in his introductory pages, Bhagavad-Gita has brought about this particular chart. So I'm going to explain this. In this chart, as you see, we have our personality is basically divided into inner personality, psychological personality, into two parts. Buddhihi and Manas. Manas, or otherwise known as mind, is what makes a human a human. We are all human because man. Mananat manushyaha. A man is a man, or a person, human is a human because he has a man. Man means, in Sanskrit, man means to think, to evaluate, to analyze. So the man is that which does not take information blindly. It receives but thinks. Whereas merely perceiving is the nature of an animal. That's why pashyati iti pashuhu. An animal is called pashu because it just perceives. It doesn't think. It doesn't think as human beings would do. So therefore, it goes by mere perception, otherwise known as instincts. Whereas human beings does not merely live by instincts, he lives by intelligence. So that intelligent part of it, of analyzing and coming to a conclusion, is called buddhi. So there are two parts. One is called manas, that is receiving the stimuli from these sense organs, such as sound, touch, form, taste, and smell. It receives the stimuli. It receives the information. And responding to that information is the buddhi. Okay. Okay. So sound, touch, form, taste, and smell. These are the incoming information we receive through the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, etc. And how we respond to a situation, that response comes from our buddhi. Now, to be precise, this response is usually not a response, it's a reaction. You know why? It's because we have what is known as vasanas. Impressions of the past are so strong, as even we receive an information, we do not think deeply to respond, we usually react. And that's the reason why Gurudev made a very clear distinction between mind and buddhi, and how the transformation that is received gets colored. As you see here, the split between mind and intellect. Split between mind and intellect is the cause of us reacting to the world instead of responding. If you had a bitter experience with somebody yesterday, today when you meet the same person, you react. You don't respond. Why? Because impressions that that person had created in your mind yesterday makes you react to that person, because that has created a deep impression in your personality. If that person behaves in the same way over and over again, you don't even think about that reaction. You don't even think it is wrong. Why? Because your vasanas or impressions justify it. So therefore, past impressions are referred as vasanas, as Gurudev's famous chart on the right side, as you see, the BMI chart, body, mind, and intellect, perceiver, feeler, and thinker, with respect to objects, emotion, and thoughts, are all guided by or influenced by vasanas, which is given in the form of the letter V, vasanas. So since you have studied this in your Yogkendra, I don't need to explain more about that. But in our present context, it is necessary for us to know that this split between manaha and buddhi, or objective mind and subjective mind. Why it is called objective mind? Because it is with respect to objects. Perception of the world takes place through this. This is therefore called objective mind. And subjective mind, because it translates into a personal experience. And when I, for example, when I see something, and if I don't like it, I express this in the form of a speech, or I move away from that place, locomotion, or I try to move away the object by hand, and reproductive organ excretion are also considered as the external expressing stimuli, externally expressing reactions towards received stimuli. So perception gets colored by the vasanas. Basically, because of that, output is reaction, not response. So this is our current status. All of us. Nobody is an exception. So Gurudev, when he started talking on Bhagavad-Gita, he did not want to go by the conservative usual route. Oh, Bhagavan has said this, and therefore it is. No, he said that let me explain this to people based upon their current scientific way of analyzing things. In the way back in the 50s, he did this. Imagine, 50 years back, he was able to analyze objective mind, subjective mind, conscious mind, unconscious mind, subconscious mind. All these things he had greatly analyzed, and then in his speeches, when he would give, people would be enthralled because this is not the way. They never heard about Bhagavad-Gita. Usually Bhagavad-Gita is that which people go in the temple and chant and then done with it. But a person who is able to bring that very knowledge, put it in front of them as a scientific analysis of human mind, he created a revolution at that time. That's why thousands of people used to, with a rapt attention, would listen to him because he would put things very clearly on the table and say, now look at it. Is it not representing you? Not a person who lived some 6,000, 7,000 or 10,000 years back as Arjuna in the battlefield. It is human mind. So you will realize that as we receive stimuli from the world, it is unavoidable for us to react to the situation because it happens so mechanically, unconsciously, spontaneously. And so Gurudev said the practice of spirituality is, first of all, pass. P-A-U-S-E, pass. Look at what is happening. It's a process. The human mind is a process. It's not it's like any chemical chemistry lab. When you go, you analyze, okay, I put this chemical and this is the outcome. What is happening in between? Why there is this reaction? How is it when I put another chemical, the reaction is different? When I put this and this, the reaction is something different. Third different possibilities there. Then fourth possibilities are there. So fifth possibility, sixth one. So you go on analyzing what reacts with what. Why a thing reacts with another one in this way or that way. Why? So also the rishis of the past, they sat down quietly and then looked at their mind that why am I reacting this way? And the same situation, somebody else is not reacting that way. Why? If I am doing this way and somebody else is not doing that way, so it depends upon the individual and not the situation. And what makes me in this way and what makes the other person in a different way. That means there is something within me is influencing this. And that something influencing me is not about yesterday or today. It's something which I am born with probably. My father was not reacting that way. My dad was not reacting. My mother was not reacting. My brother doesn't, but I do. That means I am a unique individual who has come up with certain impressions. Therefore, there must be a deep-rooted impression way back in the past in me, making me react in a particular way. So, most of our reactions are centered upon our selfishness. So, somebody hurt me, somebody said something, I get hurt. That's a selfish reaction. But I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to be shouted like this. I don't want to be treated this way. I don't want to be looked at this way. I don't want to be noticed in this way. I don't want to be comment. So I. So it's all about I. It's all about me. So most of our reactions to the world has centered upon God. Gurudev calls it as egocentric. Egocentric reaction. That is his usage. Because it's all depending upon my idea about myself. My idea about myself, when it is not accepted by somebody else, I don't like that person. My views about certain things, if somebody else has a different view, I am prejudiced. I don't want to look at it that way. I want that person to look at the way I look at it. So you can analyze, you can just start looking at it. You know that how much it is so about yourself, I. So Krishna says, Arjuna, all your reactions today about the war, about what is going to happen, etc., all this anxiety that you have, it's all egocentric. It's all centered upon you. You never look at the situation from a broader perspective. What would be that which I should do for the benefit of everyone in this family or in this country, not what I like to do and what I don't like to do. Right? So the next thing is, the process is to reduce and remove vasana is the teaching of Gita. Because mind and buddhi, as we saw, manah and buddhi, they are split. Gurudev used to call this as, for example, in an office or in any setup, there is a person who is sitting in the reception. And then the receptionist or the front office person receiving certain things, maybe a phone call or maybe some package or maybe some information. Somebody has come and stood and asked for something. So she doesn't take this decision. She said, wait, I will talk to the boss. I will find out whether you can go inside or not. Wait, I will answer the call based upon. So she is only a receptionist, a front office person who does not have the authority, qualification, ability to respond to situation. She has to check with somebody who is greater than her. A boss, a senior person, a person who have more experience, who will have to give the answer. But if there is a rift between these two, what will she do? She would not refer to him because she doesn't like. So she directly reacts to this situation. So bypassing the buddhi, bypassing the knowledge, getting around without passing through the buddhi, when it is done, it is called reaction. The very word reaction means reaction, meaning yesterday what you did, you do exactly the same thing today also, because you are reacting. So you might have come across the word rehearsal. What is rehearsal? So if you are going to perform today, for next past 3-4 days, you go on practicing, right? You exactly do what you have practiced. You don't change it. That is called rehearsal. You have to rehearse, rehear. That's actually rehear, meaning you observe yourself doing the same thing over and over again. And then that's exactly what you do on the stage. That's called rehearsal and then performance. Whereas a creative person can never be like that. He or she would spontaneously do it. Why? Because she's so adept in doing that. Not because she rehearsed it so many times. She understands what he's doing. So a buddhi is one which stands by understanding, not by mechanical repetition. That's why I am coming to the part of spirituality. A religion tells you to do, and you do, don't ask questions. I'm sure many times you asked your dad about why should I do it? No answer. My father did, you better do it. My father did it, I did it, you do it. No questions asked. Whereas a buddhi is one who is not going by mechanical routine things. It will ask questions. why. And based upon that understanding, it will respond. Therefore, every time it will change. Why? Because every time the knowledge increases or awareness increases. I did this, it was not right, I do it better next time. I did this, it came right, I can do better. I did this, didn't work out, I changed. That is buddhi. So that means that the decision-making process should be left behind for the buddhi to do and not the mind to directly react. Why mind reacts is because of the deep-rooted vasanas. So the process is reduce the effect of vasanas in everyday situation. So look at the process here as the there. Look at it. It goes and marries with the buddhi by a reduction of vasanas. So when the vasanas are completely eliminated, this union between manaha and buddhi is called the yoga. Yoga is where yoga complete is the manaha, the one which is facing the world, buddhi, the one which is going to respond to the world, have become united. And there is no influence of the vasanas which colors the situation. So therefore, elimination of vasana, BMI chart, you see the V is disappeared. Elimination of vasanas, what happens is the selfish endeavors end and selfless endeavors start. Now you no more are egocentric. You are not asking the question, what will it be for me? What is that I gain? Why should I do it? Instead, how well I can do it. How best I can perform. How best I can give it back to the world. So that is also initiating a change in the world around you. When you change, Gurudev would say, when you change, the world around you will change. He will give the example of when you are a person who's a drunkard, who likes to drink, the people around you will be those who are doing the same thing. They will also be drunkards only because you are already a drunkard and you are going to a pub every day. People around you will be who? Well, you go to a temple and you are interested to pray, etc. The people around you will be those people who are also doing the same thing. When you change, your environment changes, your friends change, your interests change, your values change, your activities change, your mind changes, your thought changes, your impressions change, your words will change. So, elimination of vasanas. Therefore, selfish actions are replaced by selfless endeavors. Now you see the outcome of that is that divinity in action. So, when vasanas are eliminated completely, then that such a person, he would act or she would act in this world, but he or she is no more. Because when the ego is not there, it is the supreme divinity that is within us, is the one who is acting through us. So this process is what is considered as the teaching of Bhagavad-Gita. So when you ask, why should I study? It is not because you should become a scholar. You should become somebody who can, start quoting from Gita and impress people or give a long lecture about it. It's not that. It is because that is something right I need to understand, and that's what I need to do. As I said, to know about what is the right thing to do is Dharma, and practicing that is called yoga. All right.
Hari Om Swamiji. So, how do we try to reduce vasanas?
That's a teaching. Now I gave you why should you study, and it is to remove asanas, right? Now let us, next question is how, that we will see, because what should I do and how I should do, that is going to come later. Now we analyze so far is why this study is important. Okay, we'll come to that. Wow, the methods of removing vasanas.
The purpose at the very beginning, you said when you ask this question, I'm getting static feedback. So in the beginning, Swami, you said when we ask why, and now it's better. When we ask why, you start questioning, and then that makes you think why you are doing what you're doing right now. Many times when I start questioning, there are some areas which I feel that it's not something that I want to do. But at the same time, I cannot leave it right at that moment. So how should, I've heard both ways. Some say that you should just keep doing what you're doing and eventually you'll start liking it. And some say that you should, if you have the guts and if you are sure that that's something you don't want to do, there's something else that you want to do, just leave it and then follow that path and pursue it until you get it. So how do you reconcile both these paths which are out there?
See, there should be a standard of reference for all of us. You all able to listen? There should be a standard of reference. That's why it is said, Shastra is a pramana. Shastram tasma shastram pramanam te karya akarya vyavastitau. Krishna very clearly says, to know what to do and what not to do, your Shastra is the pramana. Like for example, when you go, and there is a story, I'll tell you a short story. A person in a village, he used to make butter. And he will go to a shop, the marketplace, and sell his butter to a particular shop. Every day he will go to that particular shop, sell his butter, and he will buy things and come. So when he once he went there, and then he got his provisions after giving him 20 kgs of butter, and then he bought vegetables and other things for 20 kgs. And he came back home. So the fellow, the shop owner there, he just wanted to test whether actually it is 20 kgs or not. So he put the butter on the scale and he found it is only 19 kgs. He got very upset. And next day when he went, he caught hold of him and said, what is this you are doing? I thought that you are giving me 20 kgs of butter every day, but it looks like you are giving only 19 kgs of butter. You have been cheating for the past so many, I don't know how long. 1 kg a day, you have been cheating me. That fellow with the tears in his eyes says, I'm very sorry, sir. I don't have a weighing scale. Every day when I take material from your shop, I take it home and I weigh my butter with that only. That fellow was totally shocked. It means what? That fellow was giving only 19 kgs of material to him. So whose mistake is this? Now, therefore, in anything that you do, there should be a standard from which alone you will know whether it is right or wrong, or it is quality or not quality. Right? So, Shastra is a pramana. Pramana means what? That which is a standard through which you analyze a thing. A means to do things, a means to understand. Like for example, if you and I both are looking at a flower and I say this flower is red, and you say it is pink, now who is right? Right, because it looks red to me, and you say no, it looks pink to me. Now, what is the standard? How do we know which is it, whether red or pink? So for looking at anything, our eyes are the pramana. My pramana is my eyes. Your pramana is your eyes. But there should be a standard from which we need to look at what is right and what is not right. So there's this standard Shastra. So that is the reason why a study is important for us to know whether what I'm doing is right or wrong. You cannot go by your own whims. Then everybody goes by their own whims, then there'll be chaos. When you're standing in a traffic light, that traffic light, red light is a pramana. Pramana means a standard. When this is here, you stop. You have to stop here. Everybody stops because it's an authority. So in the same way, when I am engaging in any activity, I should know whether it is right or wrong based upon the standard. The best standard is what you do not want people to do to you, you don't do to others. That's a simple pramana. I mean, simple dharma or shastra standard. What you don't like others to do to you, or what you don't like others to treat you as, you don't do to them. So on this simple such standard, we can analyze whether I am doing the right thing or not. Next class, I would like you, I would not be here because I have another program on Wednesday evening. Next week, I give lectures on Ramayana. So following week, we will have. So next week, we will not have this session. So I would like you to discuss on the points that we have presented today. I will send you the PowerPoints, those who are there in this, in this call.
Swamiji, one quick announcement before we wrap up. Just for the university coordinators, please make sure that you have your rooms booked for next. Swamiji, I think there is static because you need to mute.
Okay.
That's good. So university coordinators, just make sure that you have the rooms booked for the following weeks or the month, because we had some issues with Cal State Fullerton. That's where they were moving from place to place to they couldn't get a room booked in time. So if you have a temporary room, just make sure that at least the people who are in your group know which room it is, and if you are moving to a different location, stay coordinated. And next week we'll just go over the discussion points. So we'll still have this hangout, but we won't have Swamiji's discourse. We'll have that the following week. The next week we'll just go through the points that Swamiji mentioned, and maybe in a different format, and just try to internalize what we heard today. That was it, Swamiji. Thank you.